This is Harsh Rules, I'm Ben Harsh, and today we're going to continue to learn to play Falling Sky. Falling Sky was released in 2016 by GMT Games and designed by Andrew Ronke and Volko Ronke. This game supports up to 4 players and takes 3 to 6 hours to play. Welcome back to the Harsh Rules breakdown for Falling Sky. In this episode, we will cover special abilities. Each playable faction has its own set of special abilities, and there are 2 opportunities in the sequence of play to use them. When the first faction, taking a turn, selects the second flow path with command plus special ability. And the second faction in a turn gets an opportunity if the first faction chooses the event on the card. The second faction can then issue a command and may add a special ability. Next, we're going to look at an overview of all special abilities and the commands they can be paired with. In Falling Sky, a special ability is always paired with a command, and each specific special ability can only be paired with certain commands. This chart shows the combinations that can be made with the 4 basic command types. As you can see, most commands can be paired with 2 special abilities. The exception being the Belgic March command can only be paired with the Enlist special ability. And for the Averni and Belgic player, 3 special abilities are linked to battle. Next, we're going to walk through each faction's special abilities to learn how they function in the game. The Roman faction has 3 unique special abilities. Build, which allows them to construct a fort and, under the right conditions, add or remove a local ally. Scout, which reveals and tags enemy warbands and makes it harder for them to hide themselves again. And Besiege, which allows them to remove an enemy citadel or allied tribe. Next, we're going to take a look at each of these special abilities in greater detail. The Build special ability is primarily used by the Roman faction to construct a fort in a targeted region. However, with regional control, the Roman faction may also use Build to place a Roman allied tribe or remove an enemy allied tribe. Build costs 2 resource points per game piece added or removed to the region space, whether it be a fort or allied tribe disk. Build can be paired with Recruit, March, or Seize commands. As for requirements, a fort can be built in the targeted region if it is within the Roman leader's range of influence. Julius Caesar can be within 1 region space of the build site. If Julius Caesar has been killed and replaced with a successor, that successor must be within the same region space as the build site. A fort can also be constructed without a leader game piece if a secure supply line can be drawn from the targeted region space of the build site back to Cisalpina. Essentially, this follows the same supply line rules as the recruit command discussed in the last episode. Additionally, if the Roman faction controls the targeted region, Build can be used to add a Roman allied tribe to a subdued tribe space. Or, Build can be used to remove an enemy allied tribe disk. However, to take advantage of this additional bonus, Build cannot accompany a Seize command. Within their leader's range of influence, the Roman faction can use Scout to move hidden auxilia to an adjacent region space, except for Britannia, reveal hidden warbands, and tag them with a scouted marker. When a warband is scouted, it delays their ability to become hidden again. Scout does not cost any additional resources and can accompany any command. For requirements, the moving warbands must be within range of the Roman leader, within 1 space for Julius Caesar, or, if Caesar has been killed, the same region space for the successor. Be aware that auxilia moving with Scout do not change their visibility status. Revealed auxilia remain revealed and hidden auxilia remain hidden. This special ability does not hide forces like the March command. Once auxilia have entered the targeted region, the Roman player will declare the hidden warbands they wish to scout. For every auxilia, 2 hidden warbands are revealed and a scouted marker is placed on them. Revealed warbands with scouted markers take longer to hide themselves again. For example, a march command will remove the scouted marker, but it will take a second march command to hide the warbands again. Since many game effects are triggered by revealing a hidden warband, Scout can effectively block or delay their use. This can make Scout a valuable special ability for the Roman faction. The Besiege special ability is useful in battles where Rome has at least one legion and the defender has a citadel or an allied tribe. Under these circumstances, the attacking Roman may remove a defender's citadel or an allied tribe prior to them taking losses. The Besiege special ability can only be paired with a battle command, but has no additional resource cost. For requirements, the Roman attacker must have at least one legion in the battle. The defender must have a citadel or an allied tribe among their forces. The procedure for conducting a besiege is as follows. First, the attacker's losses are still halved by any citadel in the battle. Besiege does not prevent the structure's defense. Second, in battles with a citadel and an allied tribe, the attacker chooses which to remove. If they choose a citadel, no survival die roll is made, or they can choose an allied tribe, whichever the attacker prefers. Third and finally, the attacker then absorbs any remaining losses from the battle. As you can see, Besiege can be a powerful tool for the Roman player to guarantee the removal of an enemy structure. The Aedui faction has two special abilities they can call their own. Trade, which allows them to gain resources by importing Roman goods, and Suborn, which allows them to buy allegiance or neutrality and convert game pieces to their side. Their third special ability, Ambush, is shared by all playable Gallic nations. Ambush allows Gallic players to prevent enemy faction forces from retreating. The Trade special ability allows the Aedui faction to gain resource points by trading Roman goods in region spaces with a secure supply line to Cisalpina. The Aedui faction can pair the Trade special ability with any command. To facilitate trade and collect resource points, eligible trade regions must be able to show a secure supply line back to Cisalpina. Aedui trade routes follow the basic Roman supply line rules discussed in the last episode. An Aedui citadel or Aedui allied tribe in a region without Aedui control must get approval from the region owner to trade. However, if the Aedui control the region, they can also gain resource points from any subdued tribes located there. And if the Aedui have a presence in a Roman-controlled region, they can receive resources for Roman allied tribes with Rome's approval. Finally, since supply lines ultimately are connected to Rome, the Roman faction must declare whether they support the overall financial venture. If the Romans agree, then all resources earned are doubled. Without agreement, the Aedui only receive one resource point for each eligible instance. With the Suborn special ability, the Aedui faction, in a maximum of one region, may buy allegiance or neutrality by adding or removing up to 3 game pieces. Suborn costs resources depending on the game pieces being influenced. 2 resources for an allied tribe disc, of which only one can be influenced, and 1 resource for each warband or auxilia. For command eligibility, Suborn can be paired with Rally, March, and Raid commands. For region requirements, the Aedui must have at least one hidden warband in the region. Essentially, this is the Aedui agent that will make the deal. Basically, with Suborn, the Aedui faction can manipulate 3 game pieces in a single region space. They can add 3 game pieces or remove 3 existing game pieces from that space. With this ability, the Aedui can manipulate allied tribes or warbands/auxilia. However, only one of the 3 can be an allied tribe. And the twist is that when adding game pieces, they can be from any faction. For example, the Aedui faction can use the Suborn ability to add 3 of their own warbands to a region space. Or They can use the Suborn ability to remove 2 Averni warbands and 1 Averni allied tribe. Or they can even add 2 Auxilia and a Roman allied tribe disc. Basically, the Aedui are the Gallic gangsters of falling sky, and this powerful ability can be used to manipulate other players. Although this is in the Aedui section, since ambush is very similar amongst all Gallic factions, I'm only going to cover it one time. The ambush special ability improves Gallic attackers' prospects by cutting off the defender's retreat, eliminating their survival die rolls for leader, legion, citadel, and forts, and nullifying their counterattack ability. This special ability does not cost any resources, but can only accompany a battle command. Successfully initiating an ambush for most Gallic factions requires a leader. A Gallic faction's main leader can be within 1 region space of the battle. A successor must be within the same region space as the battle. However, the Aedui faction does not have a leader. Therefore, they may conduct an ambush but only one time during their turn. Once a leader requirement, if any, is met, to initiate the ambush, the attacker must have more hidden warbands in the battle space than the defender. Once an ambush is successfully implemented, this cancels the defender's retreat, any survival die rolls, and counterattack ability. However, when facing Julius Caesar, nullification of survival die rolls can be resisted. When facing Julius Caesar, the Roman faction makes a die roll. On a die roll of 4 through 6, Caesar resists the ambush and is able to make survival die rolls and counterattack. However, if Caesar is facing Ambiorix in battle, the die result must be a 5 or a 6. The Averni faction has 2 unique special abilities: Entreat, which allows them to sponsor betrayal and turn allegiance to their side, and Devastate, which allows them to starve enemies and slow the Roman march. Their 3rd special ability is Ambush, shared with all playable Gallic tribes. The Entreat special ability allows the Averni faction to sponsor betrayal and turn allegiance of 1 warband or auxilia to the Averni side, or, with regional control, turn 1 Gallic or German allied tribe to their side. Entreat costs 1 resource per region, and can accompany any command. As for region requirements, Entreat must be conducted within the Averni leader's range of influence. For Vercingetorix, this is within 1 region space. For an Averni successor, it must be within the same region space. Entreat also requires 1 hidden warband to sponsor the betrayal. Entreat has 2 conditions. If the Averni do not have regional control, then they can only replace 1 enemy warband or auxilia with an Averni warband. However, if the Averni have regional control, then they have a choice. They can convert 1 enemy warband or convert 1 Gallic or German allied tribe, but not a Roman ally, a Gallic citadel, or a subdued tribe. One final note: if the Averni player has already placed all their game pieces or are restricted from placing a game piece in a specific region, then Entreat can be used to simply remove an enemy warband or allied tribe. Devastate is one of the game's most powerful special abilities. Essentially, it blights a region. Devastate starves armies and hinders actions such as recruit and rally by all except Vercingetorix, doubles the resource cost of many commands, halts long marches from Vercingetorix and Caesar, blocks seizures and raids, and can make it harder for forces to quarter in a region during the winter phase. Devastate does not cost the Averni any resources and can accompany any of their commands. To devastate a region, the Averni must control a region, and it must be within range of their leader. If that leader is Vercingetorix, he can be within 1 region space of the targeted region. If the Averni leader has been reduced to a successor, then he must be within the same region space. Once devastation is triggered, remove 1 in 4 Averni warbands in the region. Then, remove 1 in 3 enemy warbands or auxilia and legions from the region. The owners of these forces get to decide which will serve as losses. Finally, place the devastation marker as a reminder. Devastation markers remain in effect until that year's winter phase. The Belgic faction has their own 2 unique special abilities: Enlist, which allows them to call the aid of their German cousins, and Rampage, which they can use to cause enemies to retreat. The Belgic player also has the Ambush special ability, which is shared amongst all Gallic factions. The Enlist special ability allows the Belgic faction to invite help from their German kinsmen from regions adjacent to Germania or regions further from Germania that have German pieces in them. This special ability does not cost any resources and can be combined with any command. To initiate Enlist, the Belgic leader must be within proximity to the targeted region. If Ambiorix, within 1 region space. If a successor, within the same region space. Essentially, Enlist treats nearby German warbands as Belgic game pieces for the duration of the command. This includes placing new warbands for a rally command, marching groups in and out of a targeted region into adjacent regions, flipping marching warbands to hidden, resolving a raid or a battle, or determining regional control. However, the Belgic player may not voluntarily remove German warbands. And, as soon as the accompanying command ends, so does the Belgic control of the Germans. This may mean that the Belgic faction needs to adjust regional control after the command ends. The Belgic faction can also use Enlist to conduct 1 free limited command with German pieces. The targeted region does not need to be the same as the one for the main Belgic command. However, this limited command must begin with the same Belgic leader proximity requirements. German warbands under Belgic control may march into other regions. They may also enter or leave Britannia. Also, battling Germans must be able to ambush, and they ambush when they battle. The Rampage special ability allows the Belgic faction to demonstrate their ferocity and frighten enemies out of 1 or more regions and sometimes compel their surrender. Basically, if successful, this is a forced retreat. This special ability does not cost the Belgic faction resources and can accompany a rally, raid, or battle command. To initiate a rampage, the targeted region must be within range of the Belgic leader. If that leader is Ambiorix, within 1 region space. If a successor, then the same region space. The Belgic faction must also have at least 1 hidden warband. The region space itself cannot contain the defender's leader, a citadel, or a fort. Once these requirements are met, the Belgic faction declares their rampage against the defender. The defender can be Roman or Gallic, but not German. You kidding me? Germans never retreat.
What's this? Are you trying to be frightening? Get out of here, silly Belgians.
Anyways, then, for every hidden Belgic warband revealed, the enemy must remove or retreat 1 of its warbands, auxilia, or legions. If a legion is removed, they're placed in the fallen legion's box. Forces retreat per the normal battle procedure, by moving into an adjacent region where the defender has control, or another faction that has control agrees to allow them passage into the region. Regions without factional control are ineligible, as well as Germanic-controlled regions. This concludes our episode on Falling Skies special abilities. In the next episode of this series, we will cover this game's winter phase. So look forward to that episode coming very soon. If you found this video helpful, please give me a like and share with your friends. To be the first notified when the next episode of Harsh Rules becomes available, please hit the bell icon for notifications. And as always, this has been Harsh for Harsh Rules. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you on the next video.